Hello everyone, I'm Alicia. For this tutorial, I was going to show you how to make another round duo bracelet, but then I realized I didn't have enough round duos to make it, so I had to order more, and since I have to wait for them to come in the mail, I decided that I would just do a video on this ring for Valentine's Day in spring. So here's what the rings look like from the side. I did the lattice band on them, but I'm pretty sure that the other ring band that I usually do will also work on this. And I had a blast making these rings. They are so much fun to make, and also the colors that you can use are just awesome. So I hope you enjoy this tutorial. Keep watching. I will be using these acrylic flower beads that I showed you guys in one of my bead hauls. I bought them from Amazon for $8, and there are 500 beads in a pack, and there are 10 different colors mixed together. So all of these matte ones right here, except for these ones here I got from a thrift store. So you won't be getting these in the pack. Now when I got them, I separated mine into this container. Now Amazon currently has 18 of these bags in stock. I checked around to see if there is another place you can get them, and I found another seller on Amazon, but they are selling 300 instead of 500, and they are more expensive. But if you missed out on the better deal of the 500 beads, then you might consider ordering from them. Now I will leave links to both sellers in the description bar below this video, so check down there. And also, one other thing I wanted to let you know about. Remember these bracelets here that I did? It's a vine bracelet with flowers. Here's the other one I did. You can use these same exact acrylic beads right here for these bracelets. So if you want to do that project and you didn't have the flowers for it, go ahead and buy this awesome pack of 500 acrylic beads that are coming in these beautiful colors, and you'll be able to make rings and bracelets with them. So go check the link out. I'll leave it down there in the description bar. Here is the list of materials you will need to make one ring. You will need 3.5 feet of 8-pound or 6-pound fireline. You will also need 2 size 10 beading needles, 7 acrylic flower beads, and they are 10 by 7 millimeter, and they are a lily shape. You'll also need 14 6/0 seed beads and 11/0 seed beads in 2 to 3 colors of your choice. So this is all the materials you'll need, and remember I always put the material list down there in the description bar, and also I'll have the links for the flower beads, so check that out down there. I went ahead and put my thread onto my needles, and I made sure that I had the same amount of tail on each side. So now the first thing I'm going to do is make the base of the ring. So if you look at the bottom right here, see how my beads are pointing up? Well, I guess it's kind of hard to see. You can see one there in the center. I'm going to make this base so that when we attach our flowers to the top, the flowers stand straight up. So first thing we're going to do is pick up 2 6/0 seed beads, and I'm going to cross through the second one with my other needle. Bring the needles together and slide this bead down to the center of our thread. So now we have what looks like this. Okay? Now I'm going to pick up another 6/0 seed bead, and I'm going to cross through it. And again, bring that down. So now we have this. So now I'm going to take one of my threads and go through the first 6/0 seed bead, just like this. So the thread that's on this side, I'm looping around and going through this hole on that side. And now I'm going to take my other needle and I'm going to go through this side. So this thread that's exiting here, I'm going to go through this bead. Okay. And then I'm going to pull both of my threads tight, and I'm going to get this triangle shape. Okay. Pull both of my threads. Now I'm going to pick up another 6/0 seed bead, and I'm going to cross through it and bring it down. Alright? So now I have this. Now I'm going to take one of my threads, it doesn't matter which. I'll take this needle, and my thread is coming out of this hole right here. So I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to sew through this bead. Okay? And then I'm going to sew back down through this bead. Okay, just like that, and pull it tight. So now both of my threads are exiting out of this bead, one on this side and one on this side. So now I'm going to pick up another 6/0 seed bead, cross both of my needles through it, and bring it down. Okay, just like this. Now I'm going to take one of my needles, I'll take this one over here, the one that's exiting out of this hole, and I'm going to go through this middle bead. Okay, and this is going to flip up, and now I'm going to take the same needle and I'm going to go through this hole. Pull my threads tight, and now we have this. So I don't want my threads to exit out of this middle hole yet. I want to kind of stay on the outer edge as I'm working, because when I have all of this done, I'll have my threads then exiting out of the center hole. So right now I have this. I'm going to take both of my needles, pick up a 6/0 seed bead, and cross through it. Bring it down. Looks like this. Again, I'm going to take this needle over here on my right side, exiting out of this bead, and I'm going to go through the center 6/0 seed bead. Pull that through, and now I'm going to go down it. This one right here. Okay? Pull thread tight, and this is what we have. Okay? I'm going to pick up another 6/0 seed bead, and this is our 7th one. Cross through it, bring it down. Here's what we have. I'm going to fold this over into this hole. I'm going to take this needle over here, this thread, exiting out of this side, and I'm going to pass through this 6/0 seed bead over here. Okay? And that's going to bring those two beads together. Then I'm going to take this needle and I'm going to go down through this hole. Okay? Now, if you look, I have no thread right here, and I don't have one right here, but I have one everywhere else, and I have these little triangles of thread. So I'm going to take this thread, the needle I'm still holding, and I'm going to pass through this center 6/0 seed bead. Okay, so now I have my thread here. Now I'm going to flip this over, and on this side, right here, you could see that I'm missing a thread. So I'm going to take my other needle and I'm going to pass through the center 6/0, pull this through, and there we go. My thread is now in place. So I have a thread on this side exiting out of the center 6/0 seed bead, and I have one on this side. So pull this tight, and if you look at it, you should have one thread between all these 6/0 seed beads. So you have one thread, there's not two threads, and the same on this side, and both of your needles should be exiting out of the middle 6/0 seed bead. So I hope this made sense to you, and if it didn't, just rewind the video. Okay, so once you have one thread, you know, in these triangle shapes on both sides, you're ready to move on to the next step, which is adding our flowers. Before I pick up my flowers, I just want to make sure that my threads are the same length. So put your needles together, stretch it like this, and if one of your threads is longer, you're going to work with the longer thread. Now sometimes one isn't longer, they'll both be the same length, okay? So I'm taking my needle, I'm going to pick up a flower, and I put all my flowers upside down so they're easier to pick up. Then I'm going to pick up a 6/0 seed bead, and then 3 11/0 seed beads. So just like this. Then I'm going to slide all of them down. Then I'm going to take my needle, skip over these 11/0 seed beads, and I'm going to pass down through this 6/0 and back down through the flower, and then I'm going to go back down to this center bead right here. Okay? I'm going to pull all of my thread through, just like this, and I like to grab the center seed bead here and pull it tight, just so my flower is standing straight up, okay? Now I'm exiting at the back here. I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to pass through one of these 6/0 seed beads on the side and add my next flower. So a flower, a 6/0 seed bead, and 3 11/0 seed beads. 2 and 3. Okay, slide all of this down. Now I'm going to skip over the 3 11/0s and I'm going to go back through this 6/0 and through the flower and then back out the same hole right here. Okay, again, pull your needle through just like this. I'm gonna grab this seed bead here again and pull my thread at the bottom to make sure this is tight, and doing this is also tightening my last flower if it came loose. Okay, so just make sure that's tight. Now I'm going to take my same needle again, exiting out the back of this 6/0 right here. I'm going to go up through the one right beside it, just like this. I'm going to pick up another flower, a 6/0 seed bead, and 3 11/0 seed beads. Okay, slide this down. I'm going to take my needle, skip over the 3 11s, go back through this 6/0 through the flower, and then back through this 6/0 seed bead right here. Okay, pull all of my thread through and tight so we have this. Again, I'm going to grab the seed bead in the center and just make sure it's tight. Okay, now I'm going to take the same needle, exiting out of this bead here, and I'm going to go up through the next 6/0 seed bead. Okay, I'm going to pick up a flower, a 6/0 seed bead, and 3 11/0 seed beads. Slide this down. I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to skip over the 3 11s, pass back down through the 6/0 seed bead, the flower, and then right out this hole right here that my thread's coming out of. And I'm going to bring all my thread through this. Okay, and you can see my seed beads here are standing up funny. So I'm just going to grab the middle one and pull this very tight. Okay, so now I have this. So right now I have 4 flowers on here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave my thread exiting out of this bottom seed bead. I'm going to swap over to my other thread that's exiting out of the center. And I'm going to go through this one here, and I'm going to work adding my last 3 flowers, and then I'll end up exiting out of this hole over here, and then I'll be able to add my ring band. So right here I'm just going to stick this needle in my mat. I'm going to take my other needle exiting out of this center bead, and I'm going to go through this one, not this one, because I'll be adding my band here, so I have to pass out through this one. Okay, and it fell out on me. Pull that through. Okay, move this needle over here. Now I'm going to take, exiting out the top here, I'm going to pick up a flower, a 6/0 seed bead, and 3 11/0 seed beads. Slide them down. Okay. Skip over these 3 11s. Go back through this 6/0, the flower, and back through this bead right here. Okay. Again, I'm going to tighten this up. Now I'm going to take my needle and go through the next one right here. Pick up a flower, 6/0, and 3 11s. Slide this down. And right here I am. I'm going to take my needle, pass through this 6/0 seed bead, through the flower, and out through this bead right here, okay? Pull it, and I'm stuck in this loop. Okay, just like this, and pull it tight. I'm going to go back and tighten up a little bit more. Okay. Now I have one more flower to add, and I'm going to use the same thread. Pick up my, oops, I forgot. I'm exiting right here at the bottom. I have to reposition myself and go through this next bead because I need my next flower right there. Pick up my last flower, my 6/0 seed bead and my 3 11/0 seed beads. Slide them down. Skip over the 11/0s, go down through the 6/0, through the flower, and out this hole right here. Okay, I'm going to pull this tight, just like this. Now both of my threads are Xing out of these two 6/0 seed beads side by side. So now what we have to do is add our ring band on. Now I'm going to add my ring band, and I'm going to pick up 3 11/0 seed beads, and I'm going to cross through them. Okay, bring it down, and this is what your ring should look like. Okay, this is the side of my ring band over here attached. Now I'm going to pick up 3 seed beads on each needle, and then I'm going to pick up 1 and cross through it. And I'm going to repeat this over and over until I get to the ring size that I want. But my pattern is going to be orange, bronze, orange on both sides. Orange, orange, bronze, orange. Okay, so there's my 3 seed beads. Slide those down, pick up 1, and cross through it. And this is what it looks like. Again, 3 seed beads on each side. Slide them down, pick up 1, and cross through it. Again, 3 on each side. My color pattern is orange, bronze, orange. Okay, slide those 3 down, pick up 1, and cross through it. I'm going to do this a few more times. 3 on each side. Okay, slide them down, pick up 1, and cross through it. And here's what my ring band is looking like. Again, 3 on each side. Slide them down, pick up 1 more, and cross through it. Bring it down. Again, 3 on each side, orange, bronze, orange. Slide them down, pick up another one, just 1, and cross through it. And bring it down. Okay, so this is what my ring band looks like. Now keep going, repeating these steps till you're able to wrap this around your finger, and once you do wrap it around and you can reach the other side and it fits your finger, add just 2 more rings onto this so it fits you right, because this ring band will shrink. If you haven't made this before, it will shrink on you 2 sizes, so make sure you add these 2 more loops right here once you get it to fit your ring. So keep going, your finger. Keep going, repeating these steps until you get to the other side, and I'll show you what to do next. I kept on going, and now I'm over here at the other side, and just in case if you haven't made this ring band before, I'm going to show you what I meant about it shrinking. I'm going to wrap this around my finger, okay, and putting this up to the side over here, you could see that I have just 2 more of these rings added right here, okay, because right there at that bronze bead where my fingernail's at, it's going to fit me. But because this shrinks, I have to add 2 more of these little rings right here so it fits me just right. Okay, so now that I have this completed, I'm going to take my needles and I'm going to pick up 3 bronze seed beads, 11/0s, and I'm going to cross through them. Okay. just like this, and bring it down. I'm going to take one of my needles. I'm going to take this one over here. Make sure this is laying flat because we need it to connect to this side of my ring. Okay, so I'm going to take the needle on this side over here, and I'm going to go through this 6/0 bead. And I don't want to go through the flower. I'm just going to move the flower to the side so I could pass by it. Okay, pull this through all the way until your ring band meets over here. Okay, so this is flat. I need it to stay flat. Now I'm going to take my needle. I'm exiting out of this 6/0. I'm going to pass through this one, so I'm just going to move my flower out of the way a little bit and go through this bead here. Okay, pull my needle through. Careful that I don't catch those flowers. Now I'm going to take and turn this. Okay, make sure that your ring band is staying flat. I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to pass back through these 3 11/0 seed beads. Okay, and pull it tight. I'm going to take my other thread, grab it, and pull it tight also. Okay, so now it looks like this. Now I'm going to take my other needle and I'm going to do the same exact thing. This one over here, I'm going to pass up through this 6/0 seed bead, go down the one beside it, and I might have to pull this loose over here so I can pass through it. Okay, go down the one beside it. Alright, now I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to go through these 3 seed beads. Okay, so now you can see I have 2 threads on each side. Now I'm going to grab both of my threads and pull them very tight. Okay, now I'm going to take one of my needles and I'm going to pass through an orange seed bead here and a bronze. So basically you're just going to pass through the first 2 seed beads on the side of your ring band. Okay, and then I'm going to start picking up my 3rd color. Pick up 2 seed beads, skip these 2, and I'm going to go through this bronze one. Okay, pick up 2 more, skip these 2 orange, and I'm going to go through this bronze one right here. Pick up 2, skip over these 2 orange, and go through the bronze one. Do it again, pick up 2, skip over these 2 orange, and go through the bronze. Pull this tight. Now I'm going to stop, turn this around, and I'm going to do the same thing with my other thread. My thread's exiting out of these 3 bronze 11/0 seed beads. I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to pass through these 2 right here, the orange and the bronze. I'm going to pick up 2 11s and I'm going to skip over these 2 orange 11/0s and go through this one. Again, pick up 2, skip these 2, and go through this one. Pick up 2 11s, skip these 2 right here, and go through this one. Pick up 2 11s, skip over these 2, and go through this one. Okay, pull both of my strings tight and keep going. Okay, pick up 2, skip over the 2 orange 11/0s, and go through the next one. So keep going, repeating these steps until you get all the way to the other side. Okay, and once you get over there, I'll show you what to do next. Just like this. Keep going, repeating these steps. I kept on going, and now I'm over here. So I'm going to pick up 2 more seed beads. I'm going to go through this bronze and through this orange one. Okay. Just like that. Then I'm going to take my needle and go through these 3 bronze. Okay. Pull that through. And I'm going to pull this tight. Now I'm going to pick up these 3 11-0 seed beads, and I'm exiting out of these 3 bronze ones right here. I'm going to turn this, and I'm going to take my needle, and I'm going to go through these 3 on the other side of my ring band. Okay. See that? Pull the needle through, and then I should have these 3 on this side. Now I'm going to swap over to my other needle. Okay, right here I'm going to do the same thing. Pick up my last 2 11s. I'm going to go through this bronze and the orange. Pull it tight. I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to pass through these 3 right here. Okay. Turn this, and you can see I did this side over here. Now I'm going to do this side. I'm going to pick up my last 3 11-0 bronze seed beads. Exiting out of this one, I'm going to turn my ring and I'm going to go through this side. Okay, so I got to wiggle through all of these and pull it through. Okay, now I'm going to take my other needle and I'm going to pull both of them tight at the same time. Very tight. Okay, so now you can see that my ring band is completed and the bottom, the sides here are filled in. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is reposition myself to tie knots. So because this looks rounded and it's rounded over there, I'm going to go back through it if I can. Okay, I might not be able to pass through these here. Let me just see if I can before I go through those 3 on this side. Yeah, I could pass through those. It's nice. Okay, so I'm going to take this needle, go back through these 3, and these 3 that we're going through, we actually went through with this thread over here. So with this thread here, I haven't gone through these 3 yet. Okay, so this is just going to reinforce this and make this stronger, the ring base stronger. Now I'm going to take and pass through these 3. Then I'm going to take my needle and go through these 2 here, the orange, the bronze, and out the blue, and I'll tie a knot here. Okay, but first I have to do the same thing with my other needle. Okay, so my other needle is exiting out right here. I'm going to take it and go through these 3 seed beads, and I'm going to go through these 3 here. Okay, then I'm going to go down this side through the orange, the bronze, and 1 blue. Okay, pull it through. Again, I'm going to pull my threads really tight before I tie my knots. Okay, so now we are in position and we are ready to tie our half hitch knots. And once I do, this here becomes stiffer. Right now it's really soft, but once I tie those knots, it's much better. Okay, the half hitch knots are easy. My thread's exiting right here and my other one is on that side. I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to go under these beads right here. I'm going to make a loop and go through the loop twice. I want my knot to fall right here between these beads, so I'm going to pull it down slowly. And if it looks like my knot's going to mess up, I can fix it by lifting it up like that and then pulling it down. Okay? Now I'm going to take my needle and pass through these 2 beads right here. Okay, my knot's hidden. Now I'm going to tie another half hitch knot. Make a loop and go through it twice. Want my knot to fall right here. Pull tight. Go through these 2 beads and tie another knot. Okay. Go through the loop twice and pull it down. Go through 2 more beads and tie another knot. And I just keep going and tying as many knots as I can, and the more knots I have in this ring band, the stiffer this ring band is going to be. And when I'm done tying all these, I'll snip the thread over here, and then I'll go to this side and I'll start tying the half hitch knots on this side. So keep going, tying as many knots as you can, because it makes the ring stiffer. And it's a lot nicer when it's more stiffer. Okay, so keep going, repeating those steps. This is it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please like this video, leave me a comment, subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, and like me on Facebook. And don't forget to share pictures of the jewelry we've made from my videos on my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching.